Hello, my sister and brother Canadians. There's been a lot of talk recently about foreign interference in our elections, and you know what? I think it is a problem. Thing is, it's not Andrew Scheer in the pantry with the Russians. It's Justin Trudeau in the living room with the U.S. Democratic Party. Let me show you how. So here's what happened. On the 16th of July, 2019, less than 12 months before the next federal election, and let's put a pin in that, a hashtag started trending on Twitter. Oh God, I feel old. The hashtag was called Trudeaumustgo, and as expected, it was a series of, let's say, less than happy comments about Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and the Liberal Party of Canada. This hashtag, even though it received more than 350,000 unique impressions by the 18th, was never shown in the Twitter trending bar for Canada, which means most people were not aware it was there. As you know, as Twitter works, you open your Twitter, you look at the trending bar, you go and see what people are saying. You don't see it, you don't look. So this is a significant thing. 350,000 tweets, unique. Now, on around the 16th, 17th, another hashtag showed up called hashtag Scheer Desperation, disparaging, as expected, Andrew Scheer and the Conservative Party. Now, even though this hashtag received less than 5,000 unique impressions, it was shown as the second most preferred thing in the trending bar for Canada. Why would that be, you ask? Well, anyone who's been watching the news lately has no doubt noticed that the tech companies seem to have a bias.
2020, you can bet that all of these companies are going to go all out, and the methods that they're using are invisible, they're subliminal, they're more powerful than most any effects I've ever seen in the behavioral sciences, and I've been in the behavioral sciences for almost 40 years.
Accusations on around the fairness is that we're unfair to conservatives because we are choosing what we define as credible news sources, and those news sources don't necessarily overlap with conservative sources, and so we're getting accusations on fair from one side.
Does Google have an editorial agenda? Does the company make news decisions? Is that what I'm seeing in this document?
Yes.
So, another case of left-wing social media bias, you say. No big deal. Problem is, on the 18th, there was a piece published in an online publication called The National Observer by a woman named Caroline Orr. Let's put a pin in her. We're going to come back to her. So Miss Orr asserted, without proof, without any metadata, that the entire Trudeaumustgo Twitter phenomenon was a result of bots. Probably Russian, one guesses. Now, this is a small to medium online publication, so no problem. Thing is, later that day, story was picked up by CTV. It was broadcast on one of their news programs. So the headline CTV runs on this so-called piece of journalism is fake Twitter accounts push hashtag Trudeaumustgo report. Now in this so-called report, the only so-called proof they cite is a man named David Salisbury. David Salisbury is a cybersecurity expert at the University of Dayton, Ohio. He said, and I quote, "Some of the accounts appear bottish. I mean, it is possible," and I quote Mr. David Salisbury, "I mean, it is possible that somebody could knock out 20 tweets an hour for 12 hours a day. Yeah, but I would hope you've got better things to do with your time." He told CUTV News on Thursday. I would hope you have better things to do with your time. He doesn't think somebody could do that. So this is Journalism 101. If you're going to have a banner headline like this, fake Twitter accounts, you need to prove that out in the text, and they do not. This is a fail. Lloyd Robertson would be rolling in his grave. Oh, if you're listening, Lloyd, I'm sorry, dude. Programs. And again, without any proof, they asserted that the entire Twitter phenomenon was due to bots, that this was not an actual expression of thousands and thousands of Canadians, because this hashtag reached a peak of around 300,000. That's a lot of people. And again, the sheer desperation hashtag never really reached above 6,000 people, yet it was featured in the Twitter bar, the Twitter trending bar, and this wasn't. That is manipulation.
I'm frustrated because of the hypocrisy of when I see the flow of one direction, and then what I see are Republican politicians who, in my opinion, are just too ignorant to understand what the hell's going on around them, and I see people burning signs that say free speech. I see you openly saying, we recognize the power of our platform and we're not going to abide by American norms. I see the manipulation of Twitter in violation of our elections. I see Democratic operatives in Alabama waging a false flag campaign using fake Russian accounts, and the guy who runs that company has not been banned from your platform. Even after it's been written by the New York Times he was doing this. So we know that not only are people manipulating your platform, you have rules that remove honest American citizens with bad opinions who have a right to engage in public discourse, and it's like you recognize it, but you like having the power. I'm not quite sure at what point.
So just to get back to my point, so you believe that Twitter should not have any rules about abuse and harassment or any sort of hate speech on the platform. That's your position.
Well, that's extremely reductive. I don't know, that may be too simplistic.
So in this case, because it's less than 12 months before the federal election, this, to me, seems like it would actually be a violation of the Canada Elections Act, Section 351(1)(1). Let's get back to Miss Orr. See, the thing is, Miss Orr is neither Canadian nor a journalist. Miss Orr is an American political operative. She spent about 8 years working for something called Share Blue, which is wholly owned by a man named David Brock. David Brock is one of the literally senior people in the Democratic Party. He also is a millionaire or billionaire, like a lot of the Democratic Party. And he funds something called Media Matters. Now, Media Matters funds a plethora of media sock puppets like Press Progress and dozens of others. So one suspects, given the fact that the National Observer, in which Miss Orr published her piece, is listed as a private company, not a charity, not a nonprofit, yet you can check their site, they have no advertising, so somebody's paying the bills. Media Matters, one of the things they say is their mandate is to fund ideologically friendly media. So I'm going to see if I can get their tax records, and we'll come back to that. Now, Miss Orr has spent about the last 3 years pushing the Russiagate narrative. The Russiagate narrative, of course, is the idea that Donald Trump colluded with the Russian Federation to subvert the American elections in 2016. Me, I never bought it, mostly because I don't think Vladimir Putin is that stupid. It has been completely disavowed by the report of Robert Mueller, the special counsel. He has stated in front of the Congress that there is no evidence that there was collusion. Yet for 3 years, she pushed this with an utter certainty. She also pushed the narrative that there had been chemical attacks in Syria, when subsequently several very professional organizations have cast a lot of doubt that there ever was. Might all sound like a bunch of bafflegab Twitter trends and trending bars. The thing is, though, this is one of the largest parts of our new electronic public agora. And if this is being controlled and manipulated, then our elections are being manipulated. We cannot allow this to happen. Make no mistake, what we are seeing are large tech companies and political operatives attempting to subvert our elections. They're only 90 days away. So I would urge each and every Canadian, go to the website of the Commissioner of Elections of Canada and fill out a complaint. Ask them to investigate these things. And for you, Ms. Orr, I have addressed you before. I have to say, Miss Orr, I feel a little insulted. Your masters really think that someone as untalented and uninspired as you is going to come up here and change our elections. I have to say it's a little insulting. À prochaine, Miss Orr. À prochaine.
Free your mind.